Hi, it's Claire Knight here, emotional wellbeing coach and mindfulness teacher. And today I want to talk to you about managing perfectionism. So, perfectionism is often a way of us avoiding rejection, failure, in inverted commas, or managing a limiting belief around not feeling good enough. And it can be really exhausting and draining because if we're constantly going that extra mile, then it drains our tank of inner resources and we just feel depleted a lot of the time. So maybe this shows up for you in terms of having to have a spotless house, or maybe it's doing every task at work with, super precision, and that might mean that you fall behind on other tasks. Or maybe, you do everything really well, but you're just exhausted a lot of the time because it takes so much out of you. And you've always got that internal narrative going on around having a to-do list, and that to-do list never ceases, and actually you don't get satisfaction out of doing that. So if this resonates for you, here are 3 tips to manage perfectionism. So I like to think of perfectionism as a spectrum, like many things. And here we have a line where on the left-hand side we've got 0%, and then on the on the right-hand side we've got 100%. So this is where we do everything to 100% quality, and we give 100%. We put a lot in, and of course this is where we tend to get depleted and run down and just feel miserable often because it takes the joy out of life, doesn't it? So often with clients, I'll encourage them to start to aim for 80%, because 80% is still a very high percentage, but it's not over here in this territory of must be perfect. And of course, there will be some tasks that, it's really important that they're pretty much, up there or in the high 90s. You might be doing something at work that is going to be seen by a lot of people, and you want to really channel your focus into that. But there will be other things that, doing 80%, aiming for 80% perfection is actually fine, So it's to experiment with this really, and to play around and see if you can let go enough to do 80%. To achieve 80% in terms of, perfection. And that is often very interesting because we realise that we can actually, with the right focus, we can start to come away from that perfectionism. So the second point is around remembering the phrase human being. So we're not designed to be doing all of the time. We are designed to also just be, to be still, to do things that give us joy, that we just do them for the joy of them. And when we do have time like that, we often feel inspired, we often feel creative, we get ideas, we get access to our inner wisdom, we have insights, we have downloads, we start to really think in a different way. So perhaps a way of reframing downtime is to say, well, I'm actually going to give myself the opportunity to access all of that. I'm going to access my creativity. I'm going to, give myself the time to be still so that I can access that side of my brain. And then the third point is really around being patient with yourself. So anything like this is a habit, and it's learned, and it's been learned over many years, often, and therefore it takes time to unlearn a habit, doesn't it? It's like anything, you don't train for a marathon in one hit. It takes time to build up your training, and this habit of managing perfectionism is no different. So just be patient with yourself, accept that it's going to take time to build those new neural pathways around pragmatism, around prioritization, around letting go of control, and around letting go of those inner shoulds that are going on in your mind. So it will take time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and that's perfectly okay. Just give yourself some time to come away from that. So I hope that helps, and I'll see you soon.